Today I just wanted to do something really kind of quick. This again is in Lightwave, and one of the things that's great about Lightwave, and not just Lightwave but almost any 3D program, is the ability to be able to illustrate concepts that might not be easy to do with photography or something else like that. So basically you can create anything you can almost imagine, and so one of the things I use Lightwave for is actually to illustrate concepts. So this is just something I'm just sharing with I think that's important to know, and sometimes after I share this with people, they'll be like, well, gosh, I knew that already. But honestly, I I didn't know it until I read it in a book myself, which was a book called The Visual Story, which I would recommend to anybody. If anybody ever asked me to recommend a book, that would be the one, The Visual Story. But anyway, take a minute right now, take a look at this scene right here. And as you're looking at the scene, there's three objects in the scene. What object of those three objects do you find your eye drawn toward of those three objects? Once you say what that object is, what would you say is the second object that your eye is drawn toward? What would be the last object? Like, so if you're looking at that scene, of those three objects, which one catches your eye the most? Which catches your eye the second? And then which catches your eye the third? And theoretically, it's supposed to be that anything that's moving will catch our interest first. And then second to that, the brightest object in the scene will catch in our interest. And then the third thing would be the boldest color or brightest color. Someone could ask, well, what's the big deal of that? Well, just knowing that if you're creating a scene or you're looking at a scene, that whatever's moving is going to catch your interest. And so I saw this the other day when I was driving down the road, and I saw, you know how they put those signs on the side of a road for like a small business, and somebody had just simply put a pinwheel on the top of the sign. And I was like, oh my gosh, that really caught my eye. Otherwise I would have just drove by, and not really paid much attention to it. But because there was that motion there, the idea is that when you're creating a scene or you're doing something in 3D or filmmaking or whatever, that you're aware of this concept, so that you ideally, most of the time, you want whatever is the primary subject of the scene, you want it to be the brightest object. And if you're deliberately trying to draw attention to something, then you would add motion to it. So anything that's moving in your scene is going to draw the most attention. Second to that, the brightest thing is going to draw your attention. And then the third thing is going to be the boldest color in the scene. It's just one of these ideas among many that you should keep in mind when you're doing something in 3D or whatever you're doing, photography, filmmaking, or whatever. So, and if you really start implementing this idea, let's say you really wanted to get someone's attention in a scene, then you would just start combining things. So if I made a bright object, a moving bright object, then that's going to dominate everything. So if there's a moving bright object, of course that's going to capture everyone's attention. It's just interesting, these ideas, and as you start becoming aware of them, I did a video not that long ago about the power of odd, and once you have that idea in your head, then you start seeing it in the real world, and then the more you see it, the more you can implement it in your own work. And then this is the same thing, this concept. Once you have this concept about what the human eye is drawn to, you'll start seeing it. Like the other night, we were walking down the street and it was kind of dark, but there were bugs flying around the light. And so that was the only motion in the entire scene, and that's what drew my interest. And then second to that, of course, was the street light itself was the brightest light. And then off in the distance, there were these I should have taken a picture. There, off in the distance, there were red taillights on a car, and that was like the third thing. So it was exactly this principle playing out. And so it's so interesting to be aware of that concepts in your work. So anyway, that's all I had for today. Take care, have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.